Today in WSRH Extra, we take a look at the top 5 seniors.
Also, our Acreage Football League has a very important update.
Plus, another segment of Every Student Has a Story.
WSRH Extra starts now. Welcome to this episode of WSRH Extra. I'm Frank Gonzalez.
And I'm Carly Sprague. The presidential election this year has been debated by people of all ages.
The older generation have experience on voting, but is the younger generation ready for this election? I got the chance to talk to our fellow Hawks to see if they're ready for this year's ballot. This November, the time for voting for one of the most highly anticipated elections will finally be here. Some students here at Seminole Ridge will be 18 just in time to vote. Some of these brand new voters have found themselves paying more attention to politics in comparison to previous elections in years in order to prepare.
Before, it wasn't nearly as important, but now that I actually get to have my voice be heard and contribute, I definitely have been paying a lot more attention.
By participating, voting is a way for citizens to get involved and shape our future.
And I don't want my vote or my lack of vote to be going in the hands of somebody else. It is taking away my right. I want my rights.
A voter's decision in elections depend heavily on the problems candidates claim that they will try to solve. In today's world, the first issue that comes to mind is equality.
I think equality of all the different groups in our country is probably one of the most important topics in the election.
Women should have equal pay, people of color should not be being shot in the streets, and LGBT people should have their rights.
Though equality is important, history teacher Mr. Gerfers tells us that it isn't the only issue at hand.
Number one, our economic situation and the situation with our finances, our standing in the world and foreign policy. The world is in a very interesting place right now, and it's important to understand the history of why conflict is the way it is and why certain people just don't get along.
Every vote counts, but every year many people don't take advantage of the opportunity.
Unfortunately, of those of us who have the right, only one of 3 of us actually show up and do it. So it is a bit of an issue with the rest of the world who looks at us and sees the way we promote our freedom, but then sees us not exercise it when it's time to vote.
I say go out and vote because all you can do is help. It won't hurt you to vote. I'm pretty sure it doesn't take long, and it's just a great way to be active in the community. You don't want to end up in the next 4 years in a horrible position because you decide not to vote.
No matter the candidate you choose nor the party you belong to, voting is crucial for everyone to participate in. For WSRH Extra, I'm Frank Gonzalez.
The App Store offers many applications for your phone, including one where you can meet new friends during lunch. WSRH Extra reporter Anna Fontecchio has more on this story.
Each day at campus across the country, students gather for lunch, but on every campus there are students who feel excluded and eat lunch alone. But a new app for your phone could help solve this problem. The app is called Sit With Us, and it brings students together.
I do think it's a great idea. From what I read, it sounds like it's an opportunity for students to be able to communicate via the app if they're looking for someone to sit with at lunch.
But would students on our campus use the app? Most students we spoke to say yes.
Yeah, I consider being an ambassador. I feel like people need friends to feel better in this place, you know? You already go to this school, so that's one thing in common. Why not make something more out of that, make a better friendship, you know? This is one whole place, it's a community. It's better to be together.
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody should have a friend here. I mean, I'm no stranger. You can always come in, be my friend.
We asked students how they would feel if they were sitting alone for lunch.
No, I wouldn't feel right, you know? Company brings a lot of closure to yourself, you know? Having friends is probably one of the better things in this school.
Getting advice from people your age is always helpful, so I asked students what their advice for students sitting alone is.
Don't worry, you know, you won't be alone forever. You know, this school is a great place, great people. You know, just wait for your chance and people come up to you, make life better for yourself.
To go and find somebody else who's sitting alone, make friends with them.
For WSRH Extra, I'm Anna Fontecchio.
Hard work, dedication, and determined to succeed, Extra reporter Carson Bates introduces us to the top 5 seniors on campus and how they rose to the top.
There are over 500 students in the class of 2017, but a select few have managed to work their way to the top.
Being in the top 5 takes a lot of hard work and dedication. you really have to be willing to go the extra mile to take more difficult classes and maintain a high GPA.
According to guidance counselor Ms. Baldwin, a high ranking is definitely something worth fighting for.
There's lots of benefits. Obviously, it's a great recognition to be in the top 5 of your class or top 10 of your class. At graduation, the top 10 students are recognized for special awards for being in the top 10. The valedictorian is the #1 spot and the salutatorian is the #2 spot. So obviously those come with special titles and accolades. There's a lot of universities that actually have scholarships specifically for the valedictorian or the salutatorian of a particular class. So you could put yourself in a whole nother category of scholarship opportunities.
But a high ranking means doing more than just your average course load.
This year I'm taking chamber choir and concert choir, theater and ACE Marine Science, ACE Global Science Part 2, AP Economics.
And for some, taking on more responsibilities means giving up others.
I was actually offered a supplementary instructor at PBSE for chemistry, but I had to decline because I couldn't handle it.
I'm not involved in as many extracurricular activities as I'd like to be. I also had to drop out of swimming because that was a major time consumer.
According to student Angelica Coelho, the satisfaction is definitely worth the sacrifice.
I feel proud. I feel proud not only for me to be in the top 5, but also for other students, the fact that they've made it, that I know that they've tried as hard as I have to be in that position. So I think it is I feel great.
These students will keep fighting to maintain their top 5 status all the way up to graduation. For WSRH Extra, I'm Carson Bates.
Our nurses have a very important job here at the Ridge, aiding us when we need help. Extra reporter Case Mewborn has the story.
Many Hawks go unnoticed for what they do. Our school nurse, Julie Kowalski, is a prime example. The road to becoming a nurse at the Ridge started nearly 2 decades ago.
I applied with the healthcare district 19 years ago and got the job as a school nurse. So I started out as a float nurse, and I was at Western Pines Middle School for 7 years, Yeagan Middle School for a year, and then I've been here 10 years.
The normal day for a school nurse is hard work.
Well, we have kids coming in and out all day, stomach aches, headaches, occasional fever, injuries from PE, JROTC, all kinds of things.
However, not all events are as common.
That automotive injury we had years ago. Yeah, we had 2 incidences in automotive the same year, but that one was the worst.
As a fellow student at the Ridge, I would like to thank Ms. Kowalski for all her work. For WSRH News, I'm Case Mewborn.
Last year, we discovered some very special students with stories of their own here at the Ridge, and this year, we continue that tradition. WSRH Extra reporter Shannon O'Sullivan introduced us to yet another student.
It's a new school year at Seminole Ridge, which means new students with new stories. I have a list of all the students at Seminole Ridge. I'm going to pick one at random.
Cole Scruggs. Cole Scruggs is a senior who enjoys sports like basketball and football. He watches shows like Limitless and Family Guy and always puts his family and faith first. Cole is on the basketball team where he wears number 33 in honor of Larry Bird. Cole has always taken an interest in sports. Ever since he was a little kid, he says they are some of his best childhood memories.
My favorite childhood memory is probably like hanging with my parents and like going to like certain games, like football games and basketball games, like as a child, like the Miami Heat games and the Miami Dolphins games.
Cole is one of 5 children in his family. However, he is not the youngest. He beat that race by 4 minutes. Cole has an identical twin brother named Lane. They say they both have the same interests and beliefs, although they do argue at times.
I can't cook. I can cook, though. You can't cook, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You can't cook.
I cook breakfast all the time.
You can't cook, dude.
Pancakes, eggs.
No.
Grits, sausage.
No. You can't cook.
According to their basketball coach, being twins benefits them when playing because they can bounce off of each other.
You can tell they know where they're going to be before the ball gets there. They know how to move and cut. A lot of it stuff is almost like an ESP where they send messages to each other. Twin telepathy, I suppose. And they can get to the right spots at the right time.
Cole and Lane can both agree that there are several benefits to being a twin.
I like being a twin.
I guess I'd be a twin.
Because you get to do a lot of stuff you can't while being your own person.
Like what kind of stuff?
What kind of stuff? Like
am I allowed to, all right, I'm going to say this, but like, if like you have the same teacher, but you have a different periods, you can get like homework. You can like work on homework together and shit. Oh, yeah. Work on it, then try to say shit.
We wish Colin Lane the best of luck this basketball season and school year. Reporting for WSRH Extra, I'm Shannon O'Sullivan.
Coming up on WSRH Extra, we see what's going on in sports.
Plus, this week's Edit to the Beat. Our Acreage Football League has been popular within our community in past years.
However, this season, numbers have gone down. For those stories and more, we go to WSRH Extra sports anchor Hunter Jones. Hi, Hunter.
Hi guys, not much has been going on these past few weeks in sports, but we do have a couple stories for you. Out on the Acreage, we have a couple tackle teams for the kids to help them get ready for Ridge football. But lately, the numbers have been dropping. WSRH sports reporter Morgan Shortridge has the story.
Acreage Community Park is home to many young athletes getting their first taste of action on the football field. But the park hasn't seen the enrollment numbers that it used to in the previous years.
Or just I think between the generation gap and everybody going off to college and everybody growing up, so I think there's going to be a little lull period where the kids aren't going to be out here and not going to be able to play.
A more common reason kids don't sign up for the sport could be their lack of effort, but Coach Tom Kelly doesn't exactly see it that way.
Some kids, yeah. I mean, you can definitely see it. There's always going to be athletes that come out here, but there's some kids that come out here a little slower, a little more sluggish. But for the most part, I'd say that the kids are just as active as they have been, just haven't been as many people out there.
Although the generation gap could be an issue, some parents believe the sport is getting too rough for the kids.
Yes, I do think they're a little scared of them getting hurt, especially with the concussion. Because as they get bigger too, the kids are bigger, they hit harder.
With less players on the field, the kids are getting a better chance to stand out.
It depends but I think with little less kids, it's easier. Maybe they get that position or get that chance to play that position.
To the parents of kids that play Acreage football, the loss in players doesn't damage the team too much. As the time goes by, hopefully numbers will rise again for Acreage football. But until then, I'm Morgan Shortridge for WSRH News.
This year's Powderpuff game had quite a different outcome compared to the previous years. WSRH sports reporter Daniel Joyner has the story.
So surprising twist this year, the senior girls Powderpuff team did not move on to the finals. It was an unexpected loss, but they are still proud to be seniors.
It was pretty disappointing because it was our senior year and obviously we wanted to win, but I think we're still winning because we're leaving and they're not, and we're seniors and they're not, so.
Although the sophomores defeated the seniors, it was not an expected win.
No, because it's usually rigged, so we thought the seniors were going to beat us.
I think we could have maybe put more plays together beforehand and maybe practiced more, but I think we did fine.
Even though it was a disappointing day for the seniors, the juniors came out on top over the sophomores in the finals.
Yeah, it was really weird because the seniors normally win, so it was different. I think they got a little butthurt that we won. For the past couple of years, I feel like it's been rigged, so I don't think it was rigged this year, and that's why we won. Next year, I think that we're definitely going to come out and win it again because obviously we're the best team this year.
We will see if the junior class can repeat next year. For WSRH Extra, I'm Daniel Joyner.
Well, that's it for WSRH Sports. I'm Hunter Jones.
Thanks, Hunter. Well, that's it for this episode of WSRH Extra. If you have any story ideas, please tweet us at SeminoleRidgeTV. I'm Frank Gonzalez.
And I'm Carly Sprague. We leave you with this week's Edit to the Beat by Amy Chung and Shannon O'Sullivan.